What is going on, everybody? It is Luke Beller, and today I thought we'd talk about Jaire Alexander. I was scrolling through Twitter this morning, as we all do, like, what am I doing? I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this app. As I was doing that, I came across this tweet from PFF, Pro Football Focus. You guys have probably heard about them, but they do this thing where they grade players. I guess they watch every play and see, like, how good is this guy, and then they gave him a rating. And the tweet that I came across was basically showing that Jaire Alexander has been the #1 graded cornerback so far in the season with a 90.9 grade. The second guy is James Bradbury with an 85.7 grade. So when I saw that, I was like, dang, I knew Jaire Alexander was that good, but wow, he's the number one cornerback. And so when I saw that, I was like, I have to make a video about this. This is important. It's just important. And so that is great news for the Packers. The Packers now probably have the #1 cornerback in the NFL. And through these first 5 weeks, it's not like he's come against, like, basically gone against guys who have not been good. Because, of course, let's say it's been 4 weeks that the Packers have played, and they played against really bad teams. He's facing against, like, let's say, bad wide receivers. Maybe we're like, well, we don't really know if it's going to continue because he's played bad receivers. But the thing is, he's played against great wide receivers. One example, last game against the Falcons, he was matched up against Calvin Ridley. For those of you who don't know, has been basically insanely good this season so far. For the 3 games prior to facing the Packers, here's a stat line for Calvin Ridley. Against the Seattle Seahawks, 9 receptions, 130 yards. Against the Dallas Cowboys, 7 receptions, 109 yards. Against the Chicago Bears, 5 receptions, 110 yards. So Calvin Ridley he'd been the #1 wide receiver in fantasy football. I have him on my fantasy team. 4th round snag, congratulations to me. But I played him that week against the Packers just because I was like, well, I can't sit my #1 fantasy option on the bench just because I don't want to cheer for him, just because I want him to do badly. I have to keep him in there. I'm not going to cheer for him. Don't worry, I wasn't cheering for the Falcons in any way whatsoever. But I was like, I'll just stick him on my lineup. He'll probably catch some passes. He's been a great wide receiver. But guess what? He finished that game with 0 receptions, 0 receiving yards, 0 fantasy points. And did it hurt my fantasy team? Maybe a little bit. I still got the win because I had Aaron Jones on my team and he balled out. So it didn't really matter in the end of it. But Jaire Alexander was the guy who was guarding Calvin Ridley throughout most of that entire game. He guarded him, I think, on 23 of 27 routes that Calvin Ridley ran. And Calvin Ridley was targeted 5 times, 0 receptions. So it's not like the Packers have been going against teams that have bad wide receivers. So he's been playing insanely well against good teams. And now he's in his 3rd year, his first 2 years after being drafted in 2018 in the 1st round. I think that this year is really the year, as we've seen, that he's really breaking through and he's really solidifying himself as, one of the top 5 corners in the NFL. And as we've seen up to this point, he's been the best cornerback so far in this upcoming season. And one thing that's going to be interesting to watch is going to be on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, considering it seems that the Buccaneers should have Chris Godwin back. If not, of course, they have Mike Evans, who'll be the #1 option. So it'll be interesting to see him facing up against those guys because they are both very, very solid receivers, basically. And so it'll be cool to see if he can continue to keep up basically how well he has been playing, and I really honestly think he will. If you guys haven't had a chance, I put a prediction video out about that game that's coming up on Sunday. I'll link it down below if you guys haven't had a chance to check that one out yet. But that's going to be a fun game to watch. It's really fun to see if he can keep up his hot streak. And so one other interesting thing to sort of take a look at is when quarterbacks have been targeting Jaire Alexander, they have a quarterback rating or a passer rating of 71.2. And so if you take away Alexander from that and you look at basically the passer rating of against every other cornerback on the Packers, the quarterbacks have a passer rating of 118.5. So that's a little bit worrisome, I guess you could say, just because outside of Jaire Alexander, it seems the other guys aren't really playing that well. He's really the one who is, carrying the weight on this defense right now. Of course, Chandon Sullivan has been playing very solid so far. But Jaire Alexander, obviously, clearly the #1 cornerback on the Packers. And so, obviously, having him covering the #1 guy, taking him out of the equation, really helps this offense, really helps this team. And without him, I think we definitely would have a lot, harder time against these offenses. But, the fact that he's been playing so well so far has just been great for this Packers defense. And so, pairing him with this defense, with Aaron Rodgers, with this probably best offense in the NFL up to this point, 38 points per game. It's great to have, probably the best cornerback in the NFL that definitely can't hurt your defense. But one other interesting thing about him sort of this year is he sort of talked a lot about how he's sort of been meditating a lot and really focusing on his mentality and his mindset and sort of how he looks at things, and how that's sort of been one thing that has sort of, allowed him to continue to grow as a player. So I'll read this quote right here that he said the other day. He said, "I would say a lot of times my thoughts or my mind will be racing in the past. I just needed a way to keep that focus and be more dominant on and even off the field. A lot of players have anxiety just because of the stage that we're on. That's been the biggest way to calm that down for me and just simplify and narrow the game for me. It's been really good. So it's cool to see that he, he's working on himself in every area of the game, not just sort of, I guess, the, the physical aspects, but obviously, as you can tell, he's been very focused on his mindset and, just working on that. And as you can see, it's really been beneficial to him this year, breaking through a lot in year 3 of the season. Another quote from Aaron Rodgers, the GOAT himself. He said, "There's no fear in Ja. One of the beautiful things about him as a competitor is he doesn't have that crippling fear of failure. He just believes that going out and competing and putting his best out on the field is true success. That's a trait of every great competitor." So getting some love from, Aaron Rodgers can't hurt. As you can see, Jaire Alexander has been dominant, has been a beast so far this season. But that's basically what I wanted to break down in today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you smash the like button as always, because the YouTube algorithm needs to see it smashed for the video to be pushed out to more people, because if not, they're like, this video must be bad, this guy must be bad. And if you think so, that's whatever. But if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you want to see some more Packers content, make sure you subscribe, hit the little red thing down below, turn on post notifications, so that way, you get notified when I make a video. It's like, boom, video made. It's pretty cool how that technology works. But that's all I wanted to break down today. Jaire Alexander, best quarterback in the NFL. What can we say? Packers 4-0, playing Buccaneers. Remember, if you haven't had a chance to check that out, I'll link it below, the prediction video. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched this entire time, have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Packers-Buccaneers game. I'll probably put out a video, recapping it or something, most likely Sunday or Monday. But enjoy the game. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Go Pack Go.